Howdy do, buckaroos. So today my computer is running slower than humanly possible. So if you hear me make really annoyed noises or the audio cuts or anything like that, that's why. This is just an idea I was throwing around a few days ago about putting a house up on a hill. And I think I've mentioned before that one of my favorite things to do to just like relax and not think so much is to go into the gallery and find builds that I really, really like, but that I want to change in some way. So this one I found, and I really love the inside, but the outside I wanted to make more suburban. So I thought I'd combine that and my idea to put a house up on a hill. So I built this little hill and I threw this house up on it. We are still in 8 times speed because that seemed to be going pretty well. Most of what I did with the outside was ideas that were like already happening in this build. I just really wanted to make it more straightforward and suburban because it kind of had some interesting modern things happening. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing. I'm just sort of revamping the outside so that it more matches the vibe on the inside. And again, this is just my personal opinion. I picked the build because I already super loved it. Yeah, no weird feelings here. This is not me improving anything. This is just something I like to do. Gallery renovations. I just like to take things that people put out there and put my own weird little spins on them. What was I going to talk about? Oh, right. Yesterday, my 1 pack per room build, for some reason, started getting views. Like, for me, a lot of views. I think it has like 29 views right now. And I know for normal people, that's not that many views. But for me, that's a lot of views. That video had, 5 views? And then all of a sudden it got 24 in one day. I'm really not sure what happened. If you know what happened, let me know. Did you get to this video from that video? What's happening? What happened? I would very much like to know what's happening. But I just wanted to touch on that seriously. If anybody knows what the cause of that influx was, I am very much interested. I know Plumbella did a version of it. Was that yesterday or was it the day before? Could that have been it? Did people see that video and then just get interested in seeing more people do that challenge? I don't know. It was really bizarre. I really don't know what to make of it. Back to my build for a second. I really wish there were ways to take that octagonal roof and extend the segments sort of independently. Because I really wanted to put a proper roof on that. I ended up liking the balcony thing I did with it, but at the time I really did want to put a roof on that little weird section. I also was trying really hard to keep the color scheme of the original, but in this style, it just looks a little odd, I think, to have it gray. So I made the whole thing a light brown. I think I cycle through a couple browns before I find what I'm happy with. Yes. I had a plan that I was going to talk about, and it's gone now. I have no idea. We're still moving. Or should I say, I've been trying to say that my parents are moving, because I am also moving, but in a couple weeks, I'm moving back to Chicago. So I've been trying to say that, like, this is my parents' move, so that I can get my own brain around the fact that I have to move separately, but it's not going super well. So that's where we're at. Oh yeah. So with this build, I really did, I didn't have like half the packs they use. I have, I think it's kind of an odd pack assortment that I have. I have most of the expansion packs. The only one I don't have is cats and dogs. But apparently this build was mostly cats and dogs because a lot of stuff got substituted for base game. I had another thought about that, but oh well, I'll talk about it when it comes to me. So not only, I added an upper level, which is most of my changes to this build, but I also, I did a parenthood kitchen, because you know me and my parenthood kitchens. I love parenthood kitchens so much. It's absurd. I have no idea why I love parenthood kitchens like this, but I do. I would do anything for a parenthood kitchen. But most of my changes were adding the upstairs. And that is a tight squeeze behind the staircase, but I've found that Sims will often just go through the laundry room and the bathroom to get to the master bedroom, which is an option. Like, that's fine. That doesn't bother me. It shouldn't interrupt your gameplay, so it should be fine. I added some more cabinets. I find that kitchens look more finished with more cabinets. And I also, because there was no dining area in this space, and I think that counter was intended to be, I must not have had move objects on when I placed this house, so I very much apologize for any of the weirdnesses that it seems like were in this house. This house was a beautiful, perfectly functional space, and then I kind of threw it all over the place while I was renovating the outside. So I'm pretty sure that island that was briefly in here was supposed to be in the center. It was supposed to be like maybe a sitting eating space. Oh, my computer just buffered. The audio is gonna be off. This is your warning. The audio is gonna be off. My computer just buffered. Anyway, so I put, because there was no actual dining space. That tiny living shelf, the one with like the tea boxes and cookie jar and stuff, why isn't it in the wall decorations? I can almost never find it when I want to use it. Sorry, sidetracked. I put a dining area in the kitchen, is what I've been trying to say. Yeah, I liked most of the vibe in this. Again, I did the thing where I renovate the outside before the inside. So I put windows places windows don't belong. And I don't want to mess up my carefully constructed outside, so you just have weird windows and you have to deal with it. Yeah, sorry, we just got weird windows and you're gonna have to deal with it. But I liked the green vibe in this room. So I stuck with it. I liked it. I was trying to keep those default paintings, even though I'm pretty sure it was like a cats and dogs thing that got subbed out for default. You know, like, okay, this is a sidetrack. You know, when you can hear those phantom notification buzzes and things from your phone? When I watch these speed builds sometimes, while I'm trying to record the audio for them, it's almost like I can hear the sound that placing the object would make if the sound were on. I take the sound out before I speed them up so that I don't have to listen to the horrifying, like, triple, or I guess 8 times speed Sims music. But it's almost like I can hear it's weird. But it was happening a lot, just like, to the extent that I had to check and make sure I actually took the sound out, because I had managed to convince myself that I somehow didn't. Anyway, I've been doing more mirror placing as wall hangings in bedrooms. I think mirrors take up a lot of good space. I almost never use round decks either, so I really liked that this build originally had a round deck, because it kind of forced me to consider it, because it's just the kind of thing I almost never use in a build, is a round deck. Yeah. I had a lot more, like, intention for the outside of this build, and then I just kind of got, you ever, like, get really excited about a build, and then you get halfway through it, and then you're tired of the build? That happened. Because this idea I'd been excited about for a couple days, so then when it was taking me multiple hours to get through it, I was like, oh god, I don't want to do this anymore. But, yeah. So there is a lot of space, you know, down off that hill, and I didn't want to spend a lot of time putting in a lake or anything, because I always get really hung up when I build lakes. Man, my computer has buffered so many times. This audio is going to be so wonky, I'm so sorry. Anyway, I get really hung up when I put lakes outside. Where, like, you would put a lake inside. I'm sorry, I'm losing my mind. I get really hung up on lakes. Let me see if I can finish this thought. Because I like to add a lot of greenery and rocks and things. So I can't ever just, like, place a lake, a pool, if you don't know what I'm talking about, a pool, and then just, like, make it brown and walk away from it. Like, it doesn't work. So I have to make it, like, a perfect lake, so that people believe that it's a lake and not just a pool that I decorated to look like a lake. Yeah. That front room I didn't change a whole lot. I just leaned into the blue more so than the brown. I'm pretty sure there was some substitutions down there anyway. This is a kid's room. When I added the upper floor so that I could do what I wanted with the roofing, I decided to put a kid's room in it, and it's more of like a teenager's room than a proper kid's room. It's got a single bed in it, but it's also got like a desk and some things to do. So yeah, it's more for a teenager, but it's still got some young decorations, if that makes any sense. So it's not like an adult. Well, an adult could live here. I always say that these rooms are either kids' rooms or like roommate rooms. If you wanted to get a roommate at any point, they could definitely live in this space and be fine. But with roommate rooms, my favorite part of the roommate system they added in The Sims 4 is that they populate the room with their own little knickknacks and items. So I really like to leave, if there's a roommate that's coming in, I really like to leave like the side table and the desk completely empty. And then I'm gonna check the time on my, whoa, I'm a full minute and a half ahead of the video. If things stop making sense, that's why. Just think back a minute in your head. Anyway, yeah, I tend to leave surfaces empty so that when the roommates come in, they put their own little stuff on the surfaces. I don't know why that makes me so happy, but it does. It's one of my favorite parts of the roommate system. High key recommend. So yeah, and I added a second bathroom. I think I'm about to be, from your perspective, I think I'm in screenshots already. Maybe I'm about to be in screenshots. So I'll just do a quick little chat because I only have a minute left of recording audio, but there's so much video left. Stupid computer. So yeah, this was a chill day of gallery renovation, because gallery renovations are something that I just do in my free time, and I figure why not record them, even though they're kind of like my bonsai tree zen thing instead of a real proper build. This one's got some cute little outdoor space. It's very suburban. I think if you're going to build up Newcrest a little bit, this could fit in the sort of the larger neighborhood. And I think it was a lot of fun. So, like the video, subscribe. If you know what happened with that other video and why it suddenly jumped in views, let me know. Yeah. See you later.